Hey, what's going on, guys? John and Jimmy here, checking in for the United View. The match reaction of the game, Manchester United versus Fulham. The game held at Old Trafford has ended 2-1 to, I want to say Man United, but it ended to Fulham.
Yep, unfortunately.
I know the game, there's not really much to talk about because it was just poo-poo for the majority of the match. But if there is things that we can maybe dissect and we can sort of analyze and kind of break down, today's performance felt to me like it was a squad that didn't even know each other on a first name basis. It felt to me like it was a squad that was filled with like a bunch of people that were just getting to know each other. We looked so disjointed. It was shocking at how inefficient we were, especially in that final third. We might string a couple of passes here and there, but every time the final third is mentioned in that first half, it looks so bad. It looks so disjointed. And in the second half, like we said in our own stream, Jimmy, it was so bad.
Yeah,
Talk to us a little bit about that.
I mean, those two halves went from bad to worse.
Yeah.
Particularly in that second half. But in that first half, we had our chances. We looked like we were on the forefront. We definitely had more possession, more chances than Fulham. But like you said, we could not take advantage of those chances that we had. Like we can't in most matches that we've been playing this season. Yeah. But we saw glimpses. We saw Garnacho getting on the ball, taking those shots. We saw Diego Dalot running it, putting in great passes on that right wing as right back. But our defense was solid as well. But we saw once Casemiro came off, once he had that head injury, we seemed to lose the battle in midfield.
It was the transition was as clear as night and day.
Yeah.
And this is without being disrespectful to Christian Eriksen, Scott McTominay. It just doesn't work anymore. I'm sorry. And what we saw there was just it was a complete contrast in terms of seeing Casemiro and Kobe versus Scott McTominay and Christian Eriksen. We were getting waltzed past, and it was just one of those things where it's like the injuries, the off the pitch things, the on the pitch situation. All of these things have just completely been derailing us and then sort of like hamstringing us.
Yeah.
But it shows that whatever we put out there, it's just not good enough.
I mean, like we said, this game just showed us how important all of those injured players are for us.
Yeah.
Because once Casemiro came off, once that second half started, you could tell we were not in a good place. We were stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Casemiro he might be getting sort of criticized for his sort of, slowness and showing a little bit of his age at this moment in time and maybe being a half a yard, off the pace. But if you watch Casemiro play, his first touch football for him his desire to keep the momentum going is still world class. Like that class is permanent. So you saw today in that first half, there were elements where he just kept trying to play that first touch ball, and it looked great.
It looked great.
It looked phenomenal. And there is that difference. There is that difference in class and quality. And unfortunately, these injured, like you said, Jimmy, these injured players have been so integral to how we successfully finished last season that this season missing them has it's right there for us to see.
Yeah. I mean, talk to us about that second half, because that first half, although we had chances, although Fulham had chances, it stayed 0-0. We fought, they fought, nothing really happened. But once that second half started, we saw our team capitulate. What do you think was the problem in that second half?
There's three things I'd like to say, and then you can ask me about the third question later. But there's the two things that I want to discuss right now at this moment is, one, I think Ahmad should have came on a little bit earlier. You guys know that I'm sort of a lot more reluctant and hesitant to question the tactical decisions of a manager. You guys know that's just my nuance, and that's just how I roll.
Yep.
But I felt like playing Marcus up top was not it. Like last season, Marcus Rashford as a 9 looked great. I thought Benny McCarthy had completely just turned him into a brand new human being, a brand new footballer. But this season, it hasn't been Marcus' season. And if we're going to get a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 from Marcus down the left, why risk that and play him down the middle? I understand why he played Amari Forson down and on the wide areas and played Marcus down the middle, because I tell you guys all the time, the number 9 role is so important for Manchester United. So you need somebody experienced up top.
Yeah, and with no one else being able to play the number 9 with Højlund being out.
Yeah, that's the best option.
Put Rashford in
the
there.
Next best option, but it didn't work. So in the second half, I would have loved to see Marcus go back left, Garnacho go back down the right, and then play Scott down as a 9 or false 9 or a 9 or something, because Scott McTominay cannot link up play in the box. Do you remember that? There was that moment where he tried to do a quick little 1-2 with Christian Eriksen or somebody, and he just completely just hit it in no man's land in 2 yards of space. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
with not that much pressure on him at that moment.
Like, it's like, I felt like maybe Ahmad coming on a little bit earlier could have maybe shifted that front three, even the front four. Bruno Fernandes on the right-hand side and then on the left-hand side. Like, that doesn't work. Bruno Fernandes has also not been having a good season alongside Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
But again, you see the best of Bruno in the 10, not in the wide areas. Why shift that again? You know, and that's what frustrated me from a tactical perspective. And that's what I want to challenge. That was the first thing with Ahmad. And just to wrap it up on the second point, I think we look the disjointedness is actually a massive cause for concern. Because even if a team is having injuries, and even if a team is resorting to their squad players, you still need an element of togetherness and cohesion.
Yeah.
I don't know what the passing accuracy today was, but it just looked so disjointed. Like, we just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and like I said in the beginning, that first half might have been bad, but that second half was worse. We saw that with Diogo Dalot, who had, I don't want to say a great first half, but he decently passed well. He ran the pitch very well, but in that second half, you saw it. There was a situation where he was only maybe 10 yards away from Diallo, and I don't know why. He had all the time in the world. He decided to lob pass it with his left foot, just 20 meters away from him. I don't know where these decisions are coming from, but I know you said you had a third point that you want to talk about. What was that third point?
I think that, unfortunately, after seeing today's result, I think Manchester United, I think it'll take a miracle for us to make it into the Champions League. I think, if I'm being completely blunt, I think this game and this result showed that Manchester United will probably not qualify for the Champions League, and that breaks my heart.
Yep.
But that's what it looks like. If we can't get results against Fulham at home, respectfully to Fulham, irrespective of what our squad looks like, that performance showed today. That's not Champions League football level, right? And it's just so frustrating. Like, I want to talk a little bit about the performance overall. I feel like we need to talk about Harry Maguire first before we talk about something else. I think Harry Maguire in particular was a standout player. I was going to select him as the man of the match even before he scored the only goal for us.
I mean, if that game even ended 1-0 still, Harry Maguire still, I think, had a great game.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was probably the standout performer for Manchester United, if I'm being honest.
I mean, if there's one thing that we have to talk about, that play from United on transition when we get the ball stolen in the final third and Fulham were coming back, there was just no one there in no man's land. Every single play that Fulham had on the break, it was always 5 against 3, 5 against 4. What are your thoughts on that disjointedness?
Yeah, that's what's scary, right? Because Man United now are playing once a week, twice a week, sometimes, right? We shouldn't be so leggy. We shouldn't be so tired. Marcus Rashford looked tired today. Yeah. Diogo Dalot had an energetic, lung-busting first half. In the second half, it looked like his legs were sort of jelly.
Bruno even seemed to have gotten a knock.
That you said it during the stream, Jimmy. That encapsulates our season. Bruno looking like he's got a knock. He's never injured.
Yeah.
And he was like limping and he couldn't really move around. That encapsulates us. We look exhausted and we look disjointed. And that really sums it up. I don't care if you have a energetic or robust Scott McTominay who just came on. I don't care if Christian Eriksen didn't play for 90 minutes. It still looks disjointed. It still looks like they're waltzing past us. Like the Fulham players on the break, Adama, even Iwobi was just... Iwobi looked like a rocket at the way he was running. He was lung-busting in that final
He looked like a man on a mission.
Yeah, like the way that Robinson was all over us. Like Fulham was showing a bit more of that. I don't want to say desire because I don't think that's the case at all. But they definitely showed more simply from an eye test on an energy level. They just looked like they were ready, like a lot sharper. And that's what's concerning to me.
Where do you go from this match? We just lost 2-1 to Fulham at Old Trafford. It seems like we're going to have a knock to Casemiro. And at the end of the game, we saw it. Lindelof coming off with what seemed to be an injury. With all the injuries we have in defense, who are we playing at left back now? If Victor Lindelof, our 4th, 5th string left back.
I said it, Jimmy.
You said it.
Bring Anthony at left back.
I think that's crazy.
I'm gonna look. We're gonna do this right now. Look.
This guy.
Flex KG. Owen, I'm sorry, but we're gonna do this.
My guy going back to like 2016 with the whiteboard.
Bring it back. Hey, we're gonna
bring it back. All right, here.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yeah. I'll put it right there for you.
Just for the sake of talking about our back four, right?
Yeah.
It's very simple when we play our standard 4-2-3-1, right? If Casemiro and Covey are here, you always see it's Casemiro tucking in and our fullbacks pushing up, right? But without a natural left back, what Man United should have done today was let Diogo even push up higher, right? And sort of slot like this so that Man United in transition could have sat in the back three. That should have been the move. We saw that when Victor Lindelof came on in that bit part role last game.
Yeah.
He wasn't really pushing up.
Yeah.
Today we saw him doing all over the place. And we looked like we were getting caught off guard in many areas here.
And with that not being Lindelof's game, that could have contributed to him actually getting injured.
Why are we, if we're going to play, if Eric Ten Hag wants to keep resorting to width, right, which I like, because that just shows that he wants to show a little bit more of the ballsiness, right? If he wants to maintain his style of football over the preference of the player, then just play Antony. Lindelof is not a wide player. That run, remember when Bruno, like, it was a beautiful run from Lindelof over the top like this. He couldn't get there. And his body shape looks so weird.
And that situation is exactly when Lindelof got injured.
Yeah, because he slid down. It just goes to show, man. Like, things like that shows that, like, if Eric Ten Hag wants to be ballsy, then show me balls. Like grandes huevos in Spanish. Just show me the big pair of cojones.
Wow. That's crazy.
Is that demonetizing? Look, my point is I want to see something. I want to see that.
I mean,
at least Antony provides width. Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's the right move.
And he's a natural left footer.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why Antony was constantly selected was because he shows the defensive contribution.
Desire. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going against that, but
I mean, look, it's wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild.
But I will say this. I'll say this. At this point in this season,
that's who else can we play?
With all of the injuries and with all of the bad vibes that's been going on, you know what? Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
My head's gone. My head's gone.
Oh, it's been gone. It's been gone.
All right, last thing, Jimmy. I want to actually talk to you about this because so many people in our comment section were sort of criticizing Andre Onana because they were saying that why is a goalkeeper paid to just stand there?
Yeah.
I was very sort of against that comment because I don't think that was the case at all.
Yeah.
I think for both goals, I think Andre Onana couldn't have done anything because of the distance and the pace of the behind the ball. Yeah. But as a goalkeeper, what we do on our channel, you sort of break down the goalkeeping situations. As a goalkeeper, talk to me about each of the goal situations and maybe what Andre could have done better, what he didn't do better. Talk to me.
Yeah, I will say this: that if you were to ask me out of those two goals, which one I'm more, putting blame on Andre Onana for, it has to be that first goal.
Okay.
Because like you said, it was a rocket. It was very high up on that bar. But as a goalie, when you're standing there and the shot's coming straight at you, at that point, it's your reflexes.
Yeah.
You have to be able to just put a hand up and get that ball.
But let me.
I understand how close it was to him and how hardly hit it was.
Yeah.
But as a goalkeeper for Manchester United,
you think you
have to be better there. In that specific moment, why you can either come up a little faster if you see that no one's going to block that ball, maybe close the angle a bit more to get the hand up faster. Maybe you do better in your reflex if you're going to stand on the line there. But out of those two goals, I think that first goal, I could put more blame on Andre Onana.
Okay. What about the second goal?
Second goal?
Because I disagree with you on that first goal.
I think there is nothing else Andre Onana could have done on that goal. Why? If you watch that goal back, you'll see Amad Diallo overrun Alex Iwobi as they're both going for that ball. He just runs straight past. Diogo Dalot sees that, and he just stands there.
I think, to be fair to Diogo, I think his legs were so gone that when when Iwobi chopped the ball to switch to the angle.
Granted, 97th minute.
Yeah.
His lungs were busting that whole game.
Yeah.
I understand. But what that sets you up as a goalie is now you have a player at the 18-yard box, right on the line, with a multitude of options. And with Andre Onana having expected at least Amad Diallo or Diogo Dalot to cut that ball.
Yeah, they would have at least closed down one of the angles.
He was on that near post.
Yeah.
So what you see is Andre Onana going, oh crap, I have to get to the middle to at least try to defend against this far shot post, as well.
Yeah.
But I think there's nothing else he can do because Alex Iwobi, great decision in that moment. He sees that happening. And the moment Andre Onana gets to his last step, going to the left, you'll see him leaning a bit to the left. He just shoots it straight to the near post. And there is nothing Andre Onana can do there to do anything better. I think his decision-making there was actually very good.
Yeah.
To try to at least go. Because if he stays where he was, Iwobi's shooting far post, and that's still a goal in my eyes.
Yeah.
So I think out of everything, that second goal was more on Iwobi just getting the best out of that moment.
Yeah. Overall, look, I think Andre Onana, he was getting criticized heavily on our stream, and I felt like that was very unfair.
Yeah, especially on that second goal, I think it was very unfair.
But overall, Manchester United, I think we were just overall poor.
Yeah,
like you can't pick out one player. I think it was just overall just a really bad day at the office.
Yeah, and again, it just like we said on our stream, it just goes to show how important your boy Rasmus Højlund is to this squad. That's
what I wanted to end this. We kind of rambled on a little too long here, but let's just wrap it up on Rasmus, because I feel like I mean, it feels to me like I'm being served right because I've been. because I've been screaming from the rooftops how important Rasmus Højlund is. You know, he might not have been getting the goals earlier on in the season, but I was saying constantly that he provides so much than just goals, and it's the teammates that are really not linking up with him. We saw that clear as night and day today. Yeah. The link-up play, non-existent. Hold-up play, non-existent. There was I saw Marcus once getting held up by it might have been Diop. He couldn't stand up and he just got pushed down.
Yeah, there was no strength in that attack.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Marcus is weak. I'm just saying that it's as a number 9, it's a different kind of gravy that comes with it.
And we know that's not Rashford's game.
Yeah, Rashford doesn't like him back to a defender and touch tight. He likes ball at feet, watching him 1v1 with a bit of space. That's what he likes. So it's overall. I feel like Manchester United, it's just this season, it's just been so unfortunate with these injuries. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest, this is the first time now I'm truly thinking in the back of my mind, I'm a little bit concerned for Ten Hag because I feel like if he doesn't make it to the Champions League, with the radical changes that we've been seeing under Ineos.
You wouldn't be surprised if there's some change.
Yeah, with respect to the managerial position. Right. And that's what I'm concerned about. Because I like Erik Ten Hag and I believe in Erik Ten Hag and I stand for him and the chat always gets mad at us for it. But I'm scared because if that happens, if this happens where we don't get Champions League, we don't even get a Europa League.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. And I mean, if there's one last thing I want to end on, it was that chance from Scott McTominay.
You were talking about that for like 20 minutes on our channel.
Hey, Scott, I think you are a great goal scorer on your day. I think you can be a great second striker when we need it. But we need to improve our decision-making because we know Rashford is not a number 9.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I saw the desire to get a goal from Rashford. You saw him going in with the defender and he dropped back right to the penalty spot, wide open. Scott McTominay, I swear he took a look and saw him. And he took
that's alleged.
And he took an impossible shot. You know what? I'll rate the shot because you know what? It was late in the game. We all want to be hero. But sometimes you got to understand you're second fiddle to the hero sometimes.
I'm always second fiddle.
I thought you were going to say you're a hero for a second.
I'm never a hero.
I was going to end it there. God
no,
dang.
but jokes aside, for real though, like that chance was pretty frustrating. But again, that's just one of many chances that Man United scuffed today.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't even think we created many chances. There was a moment where it was like Fulham had 7 chances and Man United had 0 or something.
Yeah. I mean, we gave Harry Maguire our man of the match, but he also missed a sitter.
Yeah, the
header. So. What can I say?
Look, it's we try to sort of make out what we witnessed today. Yeah. But overall, it's a really sad and bad day at the office. Yeah. And I apologize. We rambled on a little too long here, but we had to talk about the points today and really sort of address what I think Manchester United look at this moment in time with respect to the conclusion of the season. And I'm a little concerned and I'm scared for everybody, but unfortunately. It is a results business.
Yeah, it is.
Hopefully the miracle comes.
Yeah.
I still hope and pray that we can make Champions League.
We still have a handful of games left.
I hope and pray that something happens. It's just that for me, for the first time, and you know me, I'm an optimist. It just feels like for the first time I'm a little bit concerned.
Someone in our chat called you toxic positivity.
Yeah, exactly. Which, whatever. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the United View. And if you guys are new to watching us, maybe consider coming and checking us out on our channel. The links are all in the description below. That's it from us from today. Thank you so much for everything. Be happy, be healthy, take care of your loved ones. We will see you next time.